Morning television is known for its polished routines and familiar rhythms, but every now and then, something unplanned reminds viewers that even seasoned hosts are human. That's exactly what happened during a recent episode of Live, when Kelly Ripa found herself navigating a surprising and disorienting moment that quickly became the talk of the show. The moment unfolded quietly, without dramatic music or obvious chaos, yet loyal viewers noticed something was different. Kelly appeared slightly off balance, pausing between sentences and carefully choosing her words. While she remained professional, her usually effortless delivery had a subtle hesitation that fans immediately picked up on. Rather than brushing it aside, Kelly chose honesty. Later in the broadcast, she gently addressed the situation, explaining that she had experienced an unexpected physical sensation just moments before going on air. According to Kelly, it wasn't anything serious, but it was unfamiliar enough to throw her off mentally and emotionally. "It was one of those moments where your body surprises you," she explained with a calm smile. "You're fine, but your brain needs a second to catch up." The explanation instantly resonated with viewers. Many could relate to that sudden feeling of disorientation, when everything around you seems normal, yet you need a brief pause to regain focus. Her co-host, Mark Consuelos, remained by her side throughout the show, offering quiet reassurance and light humor to ease the moment. Their natural chemistry helped keep the atmosphere warm and steady, even as Kelly worked through the experience in real time. What stood out most wasn't the mishap itself, but how Kelly handled it. Instead of turning the moment into drama, she leaned into transparency. She reminded viewers that live television doesn't always allow for perfect conditions, and that sometimes showing vulnerability is more powerful than pretending everything is flawless. Fans quickly flooded social media with messages of support. Many praised Kelly for her openness, calling the moment refreshingly real and a reminder that even TV pros have off days. Others applauded the show for continuing without interruption, highlighting the professionalism of the entire team behind the scenes. In a later segment, Kelly added that the experience taught her an important lesson. "We're all moving so fast. Sometimes your body tells you to slow down, even if it's just for a minute." The comment struck a chord with viewers juggling busy schedules and constant pressure. What could have been an awkward on-air slip instead became a relatable conversation about listening to yourself and allowing space to reset. By the end of the show, Kelly was back to her usual energetic self, laughing, joking, and fully engaged. The brief disruption faded, but the impression it left remained. In a world of scripted perfection, that unexpected TV moment reminded audiences why they've connected with Kelly Ripa for decades. Her authenticity, resilience, and ability to turn even the smallest surprise into something meaningful. Sometimes it's the unplanned moments that make live television truly unforgettable. As the cameras continued to roll, the atmosphere in the studio slowly shifted from concern to calm. Kelly took a measured breath, straightened her notes, and reassured viewers that she was feeling steadier by the minute. The brief pause she allowed herself seemed to ground her, and the audience could sense her confidence returning. Behind the scenes, crew members remained attentive, ready to step in if needed. However, Kelly waved off any suggestion of stopping the show, a quiet signal of her long-standing professionalism. Years of live television had taught her how to adapt in real time, even when things didn't go exactly as planned. Mark gently steered the conversation forward, giving Kelly space while keeping the show flowing. At one point, he added a light-hearted remark that drew laughter from the studio audience, easing any lingering tension. The moment became less about disruption and more about teamwork, two hosts supporting each other without making the situation uncomfortable. Later in the episode, Kelly reflected further on the experience, acknowledging how unpredictable live broadcasting can be. You prepare for everything you can, but sometimes your body or your mind throws you a curveball. The important thing is how you respond. Her words resonated with viewers who know what it's like to push through a busy day while dealing with something unexpected. Social media reactions continued to pour in, with fans praising her honesty and composure. Many shared similar stories of moments when they had to pause, regroup, and carry on. Kelly's familiar energy had fully returned. She laughed easily, engaged with the audience, and even joked about how live TV keeps her on her toes. The earlier uncertainty had transformed into a reminder of why audiences trust her, because she doesn't hide the human moments. As the show wrapped, the unexpected incident faded into something more meaningful than a simple on-air hiccup. It became a quiet lesson in grace under pressure and the power of transparency. For viewers at home, it wasn't a shocking mishap. It was a relatable moment that made Kelly Ripa feel even more real. And in the end, that authenticity is what keeps audiences tuning in day after day. The conversation didn't end when the camera stopped. In the hours after the show aired, the moment continued to resonate with viewers, many of whom reached out to the program with messages of encouragement. The response surprised even the production team, who hadn't expected such a brief, subtle incident to spark such widespread empathy. Kelly later acknowledged the support, noting how meaningful it was to hear from people who had experienced similar moments in their own lives. She shared that what made the situation unsettling wasn't fear, but the sudden loss of certainty, something she admits can feel jarring when you're used to being fully in control. You don't realize how much you rely on routine until something tiny disrupts it. That reflection opened the door to a deeper discussion during a following episode. Kelly spoke candidly about the pressure of live television and how important it is to recognize personal limits, even in a career built on energy and consistency. Rather than framing the incident as a setback, she described it as a reminder to be present and attentive to herself. Mark echoed her thoughts, praising her ability to stay composed while navigating the unexpected. He emphasized that moments like these reveal strength, not weakness, and highlighted how teamwork behind the scenes often goes unseen by viewers at home. The show's producers also took a moment to reassure fans, confirming that Kelly was doing well and that no changes to the program were necessary. Their message was simple: sometimes live TV is just that. Live. What lingered most for audiences was the calm honesty that followed the moment. In an industry that often demands perfection, Kelly's willingness to pause, explain, and move forward struck a powerful chord. Viewers didn't see a disruption, they saw resilience. As days passed, the incident quietly became one of those small but memorable television moments, not because it was dramatic, but because it felt real. Kelly returned to the show with her usual warmth and humor, carrying on as always, yet with a renewed sense of connection to the people watching. In the end, the unexpected moment didn't define the episode, it deepened it, and for many viewers, it served as a gentle reminder that even the most familiar faces on screen experience the same brief pauses, adjustments, and human moments we all do. In the days that followed, the moment continued to spark thoughtful conversations far beyond the studio. Viewers began sharing how refreshing it was to see a live television host acknowledge an unexpected pause without turning it into a spectacle. For many, it felt like a rare reminder that authenticity still has a place on morning TV. Kelly later revealed that the experience prompted her to rethink how often she pushes through her schedule without slowing down. With a demanding routine and early call times, she admitted that even small disruptions can feel amplified when the pace rarely lets up. The incident, though brief, encouraged her to be more mindful about balance. During a light-hearted exchange on a later episode, she joked about listening to her body before it sends a stronger message, drawing laughter from the audience. But beneath the humor was a sincere acknowledgement that self-awareness matters, especially in a profession built on constant performance. Mark once again played a quiet but steady role, praising Kelly's instincts and reassuring viewers that moments like these don't diminish her presence, they enhance it. He noted that the reason audiences respond so strongly is because they see something genuine, not scripted perfection. Producers also shared that the incident reinforced why live television remains so powerful. While pre-recorded shows allow for edits and retakes, live broadcasts capture moments as they happen, unfiltered and honest. That unpredictability, they said, is what keeps viewers emotionally connected. As the week went on, Kelly returned fully energized, her usual humor and warmth filling the studio. Yet something subtle had shifted. There was a deeper sense of openness, a quiet understanding between host and audience that life doesn't always move in a straight line, and that's okay. What began as an unexpected on-air pause became a meaningful reminder. Strength isn't always about powering through without acknowledgement. Sometimes it's about recognizing the moment, addressing it with grace, and moving forward together. And for viewers watching at home, that simple lesson lingered long after the show ended. As the conversation around the moment continued to evolve, many longtime viewers pointed out that this wasn't the first time Kelly had chosen openness over perfection. Over the years, she has often shared small, unscripted truths on air, and this latest incident fit naturally into that pattern. It reinforced why audiences feel a personal connection to her, even through a screen. Kelly later shared that the response from viewers meant more to her than she expected. Messages came in from people of all ages, many saying the moment made them feel less alone during their own unexpected pauses in daily life. What surprised her most was how many described the incident as comforting rather than concerning. I think we forget how powerful normal moments can be, Kelly reflected. You don't have to be dramatic to be real. The show's tone subtly shifted in the following days, leaning into more candid conversations and gentle humor. Segments flowed with the same structure, but there was an added sense of ease, as if everyone in the room had collectively agreed that imperfection was welcome. Mark continued to reference the moment with warmth rather than concern, occasionally teasing Kelly in a way that drew smiles instead of sympathy. The lightness helped ensure the incident remained a shared experience, not a worrying one. Industry observers also weighed in, noting how rare it is for a brief, unscripted pause to become a positive talking point. Instead of headlines focused on disruption, many centered on professionalism and connection, an outcome few could have predicted from such a small on-air moment. By the end of the week, the incident had quietly settled into the background, no longer a headline, but a memory. Kelly, fully back in her rhythm, carried on with her trademark energy. Yet, for attentive viewers, something remained, a subtle reminder that live television, like life, is built on moments both planned and unexpected. And sometimes it's those unplanned moments that stay with us the longest. As time went on, the moment slowly transformed from a talking point into a quiet reference fans would recall with appreciation. Viewers who had watched the episode live said it felt almost intimate, as if they had shared a private, unscripted second with someone they'd welcomed into their mornings for years. Kelly later hinted that the experience changed how she approaches live broadcasts. Rather than aiming for flawless execution, she became more comfortable allowing space for spontaneity. She admitted that knowing viewers responded with kindness instead of judgment made that shift easier. Behind the scenes, the production team echoed that sentiment. Crew members described the moment as a reminder of why live television still matters in an era dominated by edits and filters. It wasn't about a mistake or interruption. It was about presence, awareness, and recovery. On air, Kelly leaned into that mindset with renewed confidence. She laughed a little louder, paused a little more thoughtfully, and spoke with a calm assurance that resonated deeply with longtime fans. The subtle changes didn't alter the show's format, but they added warmth that viewers noticed. Mark, ever supportive, summed it up during a casual exchange when he said, "This is what real life looks like, even under studio lights." The comment earned knowing smiles from the audience and seemed to perfectly capture what many had been feeling. In the end, the incident became less about what happened in that brief moment and more about what followed. It sparked empathy, connection, and a shared understanding between host and audience, something no script could create. And as mornings continued and the show moved forward, one thing was clear. Sometimes the moments that briefly slow us down are the ones that bring us closer together.